How's it going, guys? I'm feeling good today. I got the fresh haircut. I shaved, no more questionable mustache, beard, whatever that was I had going on. It's gone. I got the new haircut. So basically, all that bad luck I had, the bad juju, it's gone. I'm a new man. And in the last video, I said since my boat's gone, I have to be creative. So I'm back. I'm putting the waders on. It's a warm 75-degree day, but the water's still cold. It's like mid-50s, 60. I'm putting the waders on, and I'm using this guy over here. This is what I'm going to be using today. It's another one of my buddy's Jack's homemade lures. This guy, here's his initials right there if it's ever going to focus. This guy is a baby bass, 3.5-inch hard body, like swim bait, glide bait. And I'm going to try to see if I can catch some fish on this today. All right, how do we look, guys? I got the waders on, feeling good. Now, how I'm using this swim bait today, I'm only bringing this one rod. I'm sticking to the swim bait, but I really don't want to lose it. So instead of fishing it on like 15-pound fluoro, I'm throwing it on 30-pound braid, just a 7-foot medium heavy rod. It's kind of a heavier bait because it's all wood. It's got some lead in it too. It's a sinking swim bait. So that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick to this and take you guys along. Look at this, guys. This is so awesome. Everything's kind of grown up. This is one of my favorite trails I have ever found while at college here near Cincinnati. You know, I grew up in a suburb of Chicago, and Chicago is not exactly the most environmentally diverse or nature boy place in the whole world. And in my impression, neither was Cincinnati. But I'm 5 minutes off my campus, and look at this. Look at this. We got like a really cool big canyon river. It's just beautiful, beautiful scenery to explore. And I love doing stuff like this. And I was bummed my boat broke, but I'd rather explore the woods and get to a secret little pond like this any day. Oh, that's a big spider web. Any day than just rip around on a big bass boat. It really just reminds me of my childhood, because this is what I used to do as a kid. I lived next to a really big forest preserve. And almost every day up until I was like 12, I would just go walk around the forest preserve, take my bike, and just explore for hours. Go explore all the ponds and creeks and just kind of walk around. I wasn't even that big into fishing at that time, but I just loved the outdoors. And fishing is a way that brought me back into the outdoors, really. Just a really, really cool path. Bushwhacking with a fishing rod tip. There's going to be spider webs. There's going to be ticks, but if you keep your rod tip up, it's gonna get down a lot of the spider webs in front of you. Because if you're like me and hate spider webs, like look at that guy. Oh, you can't really see. If you're like me and you hate spider webs, having the fishing rod up is gonna save you a face full of spider web. Whew. I have finished trekking through the woods. I'm taking a breather. Mostly a spider web and tick check in my hair. I'm gonna stop sweating because 75 bright sun and thick insulated waders are not a good combination. Yeah, it's sweat dripping off my nose, but we're almost there. We're almost to the promised land. Yep. I'm sure some of you will find this cool. This creek bed is just basically all rock, but it's not just rock. It's fossilized rock. These are all shells, and every one of these rocks are like this. Like, look at this. It's just awesome. It's all shells. Good place to find fossils. All right, we have made it to the promised land, an oxbow off of this little creek. It's usually full of largemouth. So that's why not many people come back here. It's not fun to get back here, but let me show you guys what the swim bait looks like in the water, because I don't think I've done that yet. All right, so like I said, it is a glide bait, but it still swims pretty well. Just like a traditional glide bait in that you pull it, it'll either go straight or it'll shimmy side to side if you pull it fast enough. But I think I'm gonna go for a little more erratic of a retrieve, because you can pull it and make it glide, but you can make it like twitch. You can really trigger fish with this bait, it looks like. I'm not the most experienced swim bait fisherman. Might have to hit up Grant for some tips, but this thing looks pretty good. And the paint job is awesome. Looks exactly like a baby bass. So now I'm gonna switch on over to the chesty, because it's kind of hard to hold the camera and fish while wading in the water at the same time. All right, let's get to work with this bad boy. There's a lot of fish over here that I can see, and I'm not sure they're bass. Could be like suckers or carp sitting in the current. Oh, I missed one. No. Oh, ooh, one's coming after it. One's waking it. Oh my God, this is intense. All right, I gotta get back in there. On one cast, one hit it immediately, and then another one came up and crushed it. Oh. I've never had bass just chase a swim bait like that before. That was, oh my. That's good. That is great. Didn't exactly hook those fish, but that tells me that fish are gonna bite this. This isn't exactly a highly pressured body of water where you can say that fish are hitting this because they haven't really seen anything like it. That's certainly the case, but these fish haven't really seen swim baits in general before. That one followed it out again. I don't know how to make these fish commit. I need Grant out here, Grant Langmore, Swimbait King. Need him to tell me how to get these fish to commit better on a swimbait. Oof. I am at a disadvantage with this swimbait though, because it does not have a tail hook. It only has that one center hook, like I think a lot of glide baits do, so. Be at a disadvantage with the single treble, might not. We'll see how many fish I lose. Just because the current is coming in and it's wrapping around this bend and is going this way. So all that's a big eddy, and there was two that were just sitting there waiting that both attacked this. The first one, all right, so I'm pretty sure I do see a male bass on a bed. This is the first bedding bass I've seen all year, but it's a little male, and it is the one, it's not little, it's like 15 inches, but it's the one that chased me out, that like was tailing my swim bait, and now I think I know why it just tailed it and didn't hit it. Because it keeps going back to this same exact gravel patch on the shore. So I got my swim bait right now just sitting in that gravel patch, and I'm hoping if he comes back, I can just kind of like nose down and hopefully he'll eat it. This guy is finicky. This swim bait, the way it sits, it's nose weighted. So when I've got it sitting on the bottom, it is head down, tail up. So it looks like it's like rummaging around in the bed, but I don't think there's eggs yet. I think he's just kind of holding the spot. I don't know if he knows I'm here or what the deal is, but he could care less if that swim bait is right on the bed or wherever he's going and relating to. See what that thing is? Oh no, that is a snake, which means that, oh God. Yep, I don't want to mess with you, buddy. I'm trying to run. I know people say how snakes are more scared of humans, that whole thing. I might be the exception. Do not like snakes. Oh! That was a bite. That was a bite. Messing around with snakes and just reeling this in and thunk. Well, that's a bummer. Since I'm using braid, the bites on these things are so obvious. It's just a really hard, like, thunk. It's very different than if you hit a rock, get stuck in weeds, anything like that. There is a bass on a bed. The bass is 2 feet away from me. Oh, he's scared away. There's a swirl he made. There's his bed up there. These fish are bedding. There he is. There he is. Look at, he does not like me standing in his area. I wonder why. If these fish are bedding, that's going to make this challenge a lot more difficult. Because they're not out looking to feed and feed up before they spawn. They're already spawning. I don't know if the females have dropped eggs yet, but if they have, then it would make it easier because the males will guard the beds and I can just drop the swim bait in there. But the males aren't exactly holding to any certain area, so it looks like they've just made the beds and the females are going to come in the next couple days because there's a full moon on Wednesday of this week. So I know a lot of you, the spawn has already happened in your part of the country. Spawn is just about to pop on out over up here in southern Ohio. Well guys, this is kind of what I expected. from this homemade little swim bait that it would be tough, that it would be a challenge to catch one. After fishing half of this pond, I noticed that I've had 2 short hits on it where they've just kind of struck it and not really gotten hooked. There's only a front hook, so that also makes it a challenge. But I've also seen a couple fish on beds, and they haven't been locked on. They've been around their beds, milling around. I put the swim bait on their bed. They don't want anything to do with it. So I'm gonna keep looking around, looking for fish that are trying to eat. And maybe if I could find one that's locked onto a bed, I can actually catch it. Because this looks like a good bed fishing bait, because it'll just stay on the bottom of the bed. All right, I'm now fishing the other side of the pond. If I still can't get one to commit, or I shouldn't say that, I've gotten some to commit. If I still cannot get one hooked and catch one on this, then I can't just quit and I gotta go to a local reservoir to try to catch one there. Because I'm determined, I'm not giving up. I know this thing can catch them. What the f was that? Oh, okay. So now I own Jack a new swim bait, and the challenge has been failed because that's a sinking swim bait and it's in a good 7 foot of water right now. Have absolutely zero idea how that happened. This was fresh line. I haven't gotten it snagged once today. There should be nothing that's fraying my line, and 30-pound braid should not snap on the cast of like a 3/4 to 1 ounce lure. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So now we need to repay Jack and figure out how to continue or end this video. I have to go back to the car because I was trying to just do this swim bait challenge, and now I don't have a swim bait. Out of all my homemade lure challenges, I'd have to say this one was the biggest fail yet, because the most action was in my first cast and it ended up with me losing the lure. And I've never lost one of Jack's homemade lures before, but now I have on taking a cast. So upon inspection of my rod while I'm walking back, I'm looking for things that could have cut the line. Nothing here. Checking the inserts, and oh, that kind of sticks out. One of the ceramic inserts, half of it has broken. And look at that, so it's just chipping off. What's left is very sharp. Yeah, look at that. Almost positive this is what cut my line. I don't know why that ceramic insert would have broken off. Cool. Well guys, I talked to Jack about it. He was obviously a little bummed because it takes a good amount of time to make those lures. By the way, I am still making that video of how to make those homemade lures. Do not think I forgot, because I'm still gonna make the video for all you guys that asked for it. But yeah, he was obviously kind of bummed. Understand it happens, not the biggest deal. He does have a big box of them and he can make them again, but that was like a glide bait swim bait. It's a little bit harder to make than the top water. So maybe when I do the how to make a lure video, maybe I can attempt to make him another glide bait, but it sounds like there's a lot of skill involved, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But I'm not gonna end this video without catching a fish. I did fail the challenge of catching a fish with that swim bait. I might have if I got to like the wood on the other shoreline, but that's in the past. Can't do anything about it. I'm now at highly pressured Houston woods. We're gonna strap the GoPro on again and just walk along a shoreline where I know the fish spawn and just pitch a jig to every little stump I see and hopefully catch a couple bass. There are some kind of big ones on this shoreline, so if I can catch a good one, a 3-pounder, that's a big one. That would be great. Oh, look at this. A beaver is doing some serious work on this tree right here. Beaver chunks. Look at him, he's going to, that's fresh. That's like today. Beaver's going in. Jesus. I am so sorry, man. Victory, guys, I did it. Caught a bass today. I caught a bass. I was swimming this jig right there, and literally as I was swimming it, the force of me swimming it was enough to shoot this guy up out of the water. But you know what? That's a certified flare fish. He counts them, I count them. That's not a skunk. I may have lost the swim bait challenge, but I did not lose the day. I caught a bass. I will take it. I will gladly take the flare fish. Anyone else gladly take flare fish after a tough day of fishing? Because I certainly do. A bass is a bass is a bass. Well guys, thankfully this wasn't a fishing video with no fish, but I failed the challenge. I'm not happy with how it ended, I'm not. I had many options for what I could do today. It was a beautiful spring day to go fishing. I committed to the homemade swim bait challenge. Oh, nice, nice, nice. You know what that is? You know what that is? That's a tick. The undeniable sign of spring, ticks on your body. Well, I'm gonna go home because I probably have about 10 more of those all over my body and my hair and everything else. I still smell like sweat from wearing the waders, but all in all, a beautiful day in the spring. Could have done a lot of other things. I think tomorrow, or the next day at least, I'm gonna go out and hit that like pristine smallmouth river for spring smallies, which is one of my favorite things to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.